Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back to the Thai Expat Daily Show. I'm your host, Kieran Mack. As always, I'm delighted you've been able to tune in with us yet again for another show. Now, before we do get started, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell so that YouTube will let you know when the next show, podcast, conversation, interview is uploaded onto the platform. Now, if you want to support the show, the easiest and the best way is to simply become a channel member. It's as simple as clicking the join button down below. And that's really it. So now that we're all done and dusted with that, let's jump into the trending stories here in Thailand today. In a surprising turn of events, a high-ranking police officer from Chiang Mai's Hang district has offered to surrender himself to authorities. This comes after the provincial court issued an arrest warrant against him for his alleged involvement in a call centre scam. Police Lieutenant Colonel Bandit, an inspector from Hong Dang Police Station, made the offer following police raids on two separate locations. The first raid targeted an apartment in the Ban U Arton Night Safari condominium in Hang Dong district, while the second took place in Muang district. During these raids, authorities seized 12 SIM boxes, internet routers, and various other devices. 4 individuals, including 3 women and 1 man, were taken into custody. The police alleged that Bandit orchestrated the scam and enlisted his son to recruit friends to manage the technical operations. Now, in a bid to sustain Phuket as a top-tier destination for quality tourism, a prominent business organization has urged improvements in safety measures and infrastructure. On Friday, Phuket Tourist Association President Tanet voiced concerns over the safety of foreign tours, pointing out that incidents reflecting poorly on the country needed to be addressed. If we are focused on quality tourism, safety is one of the issues that should be high on our priority list, said Tanet. Tragically, foreign tourist deaths have occurred, including drownings despite red flag warnings of strong tides and road accidents resulting in injuries and fatalities. Now, this year, 9 people, including 5 foreigners, have drowned, even though 115 lifeguards are stationed across the island's beaches, according to the Provincial Department of Disaster Prevention and Mitigation. Road accidents have claimed 107 lives in the first 6 months of the year, with projections suggesting the total could exceed last year's 168 deaths. Now, Tanet reiterated the need for substantial government investment in infrastructure, including roads, public transport, and waste management, highlighting that local administrations alone cannot tackle these significant challenges. Phuket remains connected to the mainland by only one main road, a glaring infrastructure limitation. Recent heavy rains that flooded roads and caused traffic paralysis underscored the island's inadequate flood management capabilities. Tanet argued that enhancing safety and infrastructure would entice tourists to extend their stays and spend more time in the island. The Phuket office of the Tourism Authority of Thailand anticipates a revenue of 400 billion baht this year, a slight increase from the 388 billion baht from last year, driven by tourism and related businesses. Tanet expressed confidence in reaching this target, noting that Phuket continues to welcome about 10,000 foreign visitors daily from up to 300 flights, even during the low season. In a swift and decisive operation, Thai police have apprehended a Colombian gang responsible for a spate of robberies across 5 provinces, amassing stolen property worth over 3 million baht in just 10 days. On July 19, Police Lieutenant General Jurasan, commander of the Provincial Police Region 1, along with immigration police investigators, announced the arrest of 4 Colombian nationals. The arrest took place at 2 locations, a condominium in Nonthaburi province and a hotel in Banglamung district in Chonburi province. The police seized a substantial haul of stolen property, including cash, gold necklaces, rings and watches totaling 125 items, estimated to be worth about 3 million baht. Also confiscated were burglary tools such as screwdrivers, pliers, and work tools, as well as clothes worn during the crimes and rented motorcycles used in the robberies. The investigation began in early July when reports of a gang targeting households in gated communities surfaced. The joint investigation with immigration police revealed that the perpetrators were Colombian nationals who meticulously planned their crimes. They used rented cars and motorcycles to target gated communities in Bangkok and surrounding areas, typically striking in the early evening before homeowners returned. The burglars employed tools to break into houses and steal valuables. Upon confirming these suspects' identities, police obtained search warrants and arrest warrants. The Colombian group faces charges of conspiracy to commit nighttime burglary, damaging property barriers, and using vehicles in the commission of crimes. If convicted, they face up to 1 to 7 years of imprisonment and fines ranging from 20 to 140,000 baht. Now, next up is a story I spotted on a number of different websites, and we're just going to go because I think it's very interesting and brings up a number of good points. So, expatriates who have invested in expensive visas like the elite visa are expressing dissatisfaction with Thailand's new visa policies. They argue that the recently introduced 60-day visa and the 180-day destination Thailand visa make their long-term visas, such as the elite visa and annual extension for retirement and marriage, obsolete. Jeffrey Fisher, a British expat who recently paid 900,000 baht for a 5-year elite visa, feels he wasted his money as now almost anyone can stay in Thailand indefinitely for a much lower cost. Critics point out that the 60-day visa exemption can be extended locally for an additional 30 days at immigration offices, followed by a border run to restart the process. Allegedly, some immigration officers at Bangkok's Suvarnabhumi airport have even suggested that unlimited border runs are now permissible. The Destination Thailand Visa, or DTV, which costs 10,000 baht and offers 180 days on entry with the option to extend for another 180 days, can also be repeated by briefly leaving the country. This flexibility has led to frustration among expats like American Dan Silverman, who maintains a retirement extension requires him to keep 800,000 baht in the bank account, maintain medical insurance, adhere to changing regulations, and report his Thai address regularly throughout the year under threats of fine. Silverman contrasts his situation with the newfound freedom granted by the new visa options. Now, despite widespread criticism on social media, some argue that the concerns may be exaggerated. Official information on the extent of allowable visa exemption remains vague. The DTV, aimed primarily at digital nomads and freelancers working for foreign companies, requires proof of financial means or a cash bond and documentation of employment or work portfolio. The ambiguity surrounding eligibility for the DTV, which also accepts applications from participants in Thai cultural activities like cooking classes and Muay Thai training, has raised further questions. Expats question whether these activities justify long-term visa stays. Immigration consultants attribute the confusion to the dual responsibility of the Foreign Affairs Ministry for visa issuance and the Interior Ministry's Immigration Bureau for monitoring extensions and enforcement. Immigration lawyer Jetsaporn Bonag anticipates that clarity will emerge once the practical implications of the new policies are fully understood. So in relation to this, I somewhat see where the expats are coming from and the rigmarole that they've go through to get a visa, and suddenly now it looks like, well, that a 5-year visa looks quite easy for people. Now, what I would say to expats who are complaining about this is that if they feel aggrieved, what they can do is, when their visa comes to an end or extension of stay, is get onto the Destination Thailand visa and do it that way if they want. Now, however, to qualify for the Destination Thailand visa, it does seem a little difficult. It's not as easy and straightforward as everybody thinks. I do feel that we are going to see probably a tightening up of it in the coming months. I think parts of it, like a 5-year visa for a Thai cooking class or for Muay Thai, that doesn't make sense at all. And maybe there is problems coming down the line in terms of that. I mean, if I do a course, for example, and I get a certificate saying I'm doing a Muay Thai course for the next 5 months, are you going to give me a visa for 5 years based on that course? So it does seem that maybe this hasn't been thought through very well by the government. Now, in terms of digital nomads and freelancers and stuff like this, it's yet to be seen exactly what proof you will need to give to the government to be able to get this visa. I tried to go online, tried to look it up, but it is very, very vague. And personally, for me, and I would say like this, if I, for example, are on a marriage visa or something like that, and I'm going through the rigmarole every year that you have to go through with your 400,000 or your retirement or 800,000, you do know at the end of your stay, at the end of this process, you're going to have your retirement or marriage visa. It lasts a year. You know what you have to do. You know what you can't do, etc. With the destination Thailand visa, this could easily be pulled from under people's feet anytime. So that's the other issue you have to. At least you have some kind of security with having the extension of stay each year, where I believe the destination Thailand visa is more a gimmick than anything else. And as I said, could be pulled away at any time. But I'd love to know what you think about all this. Do you think these expats are making good points? Are they bad points? Are they just maybe a little bit jealous? I'd love to know your opinion, as always, down below in the comment section. In a shocking betrayal, a jewellery merchant has rushed to file a police report after a long-time acquaintance, a Canadian man, stole 3 valuable gemstones worth 14.5 million baht, approximately $400,000. The suspect, known to the merchant for a decade, has already fled Thailand. On July 19th, Police Lieutenant Puiwat, Deputy Inspector of Yanawa Police Station, received a report from the 40-year-old gem merchant detailing the theft of 3 gemstones: a yellow gemstone weighing about 149 carats, valued at approximately 10 million baht, a blue gemstone weighing 13 carats, and another blue gemstone weighing about 13 carats. The theft occurred in the morning of July 17th at a luxury hotel in Satorn district in Bangkok. Now, CCTV footage reveals Mr. Amir, the 40-year-old Canadian suspect, called for a grab taxi service at the hotel shortly after the theft. According to the merchant, he had arranged a meeting with Amir to discuss gem trading. Amir claimed he had potential buyers and requested to take the gemstones to show them. Trusting his longtime associate, the merchant handed over the gems, only for Amir to vanish soon after. When attempts to contact Amir failed, the merchant reported the theft to the police. Now, Police Lieutenant General Sen Sawang, commander of the Metropolitan Police Bureau, directed the investigation team from Yanawa Police Station and Metropolitan Police Division 6 to scrutinize CCTV footage. Their investigation confirmed that Amir left Thailand at 11:39 on July 19th aboard Swiss Air Flight LX-181 headed for Switzerland. Investigating officers are now gathering evidence to request an arrest warrant for Amir. In a tragic incident on Rama 2 Road, Bangkok, a standoff involving a man identified as Bunma led to fatalities and injuries. Bunma, reportedly dealing with mental health issues, held his family hostage, resulting in an 8-hour confrontation with police. Upon police arrival, Bunma fired shots, fatally injuring Police Lieutenant Colonel Kichakon and harming another officer. Despite negotiations and sporadic gunfire from the house, police refrained from returning fire. The standoff concluded early morning when authorities used stun grenades to enter the residence. Bunma was found deceased inside, while his injured daughter and other hostages were safely rescued. The incident has raised concerns about mental health support and firearm regulation, prompting calls for improved crisis intervention strategies to prevent similar tragedies.